So the basis of what I'm saying is, how is it that these motherfuckers are able to uh, do rituals and use them against them for positive gain for them, and us not be able to do that shit for positive gain for ourselves? I was raised Christian. And in Christianity, they tells us that, communicating with the ancestors is the devil, that crystals is the devil, that voodoo is the devil, that basically anything outside of Christianity is the fucking devil. And, when you really think about it, it's like literally the whitest thought that you ever can fucking have, because white people tend to, believe that anything and anybody that ain't white is the fucking devil. That's the way they treat people. They ostracize and oppress everyone outside of their own whiteness to protect and preserve white supremacy, to protect and preserve white patriarchy. And in doing so, Black people have asserted this masculine persona in order to survive. Black women have become more masculine, taking and finding liberation in their own bodies, and, calling it one thing, but it's really, on the opposite end, causing damage in another way. And the same thing as Black men, finding value in white patriarchy, and on the other end is causing damage in another way. As we see these motherfuckers performing rituals and us believing myths in a certain way, like, could it be that everything that we are experiencing in this reality is meant for us to use creatively for our own benefit in order to see it through in our purposes and allow ourselves to be led by ideas and ancestors and all the things that they have deemed that was evil in the first place? Now, there's a lot of content online, and I'm assuming that everybody has seen a lot of this stuff. So, I really don't want to necessarily go through the content and talk about it and teach it. But, I do want to briefly skim over it in order to make my point. Okay, so if everything began with the Big Bang out of the ether, and everything came from atoms, protons, neutrons, electrons, formed into the periodic table of elements. The inhale and exhale of the ether formed this vibration that basically clumped everything together into matter, in which can be perceived. Then the matter itself and the perception of the matter itself is what people use their hands in order to form reality as we know it. Fast forward and you get a bunch of motherfuckers that, don't know any of this. You basically are coming into the doctrine of old people who were more aware than you. Not necessarily right, but more aware. And you come under their structure. They give you a name. They give you a purpose of being. And these people are in conflict with each other. So, this is how you get a slave, a master, all these perceptions and pretenses that form these realities for different people and make them insecure. Like, insecurity would, make a person want to control another person and make them a slave. Insecurity will make a person become a slave themselves. So, to whatever. So, when you come into this reality and you take on the state of the generation before you, then this is how you are inhibited or limited in taking your own hands and creating a reality that best suits you and the legacy behind you and going forward for you.
Do you know why we have surnames? And would you believe me if I told you that surnames were a colonial construct invented to uphold patriarchy? You see, a lot of ancient African civilizations were specifically matriarchal, not because they were stupid, but because Africans lived side by side with nature. And what does nature say about lineage? Nature says that lineage is exclusively maternal. It is only through your mother's side that you can track your legacy, because the male mitochondrial DNA that is present in the tail of the sperm does not get inherited or passed on from parents to offspring. We all know when fertilization occurs, when the sperm's head enters the ovum, the tail gets chopped off. Inheriting your father's name is totally and absolutely pointless as far as legacy is concerned. So in real sense and biologically speaking, men have zero say in what a legacy looks like. So I wonder why they want to have a say in abortion